What's up? What's up? Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you guys are. The chat is working, so what we did was we implemented the YouTube live chat into the portal. So now you can do everything on the portal, watch the live, talk in the chat, and pull up the charts. So just like usual, just send in your pair recommendations. Now you just do it through the portal. And we can get started. I'll give everyone a few moments to get set up. If you haven't signed up for the portal, I don't know. I don't know what you're doing. We've been preaching all week to get on there. It's pretty easy. If you do need help, email support@forexlens.com and we'll help you. But send in them questions, and today will be a bit more interactive, I guess. I'm gonna actually ask your opinion for some pairs and let you guys determine what the bias is from what the charts are saying. Last week was pretty good. I think we tapped off at 297 pips. Last night, gold was looking, I was expecting shorts, but consolidated. It made a mini push. So that's why I usually don't trade Sundays. Not enough volume and a lot of fake outs can happen. And then pound Aussie hit our first take profit and then just plummeted. So we got partials. I set an alarm after I set the trade for 5 AM Eastern. Quickly updated you guys, close out the trade, put stops to partials, and got stopped out in the morning. Yeah, if you guys are on the portal, you guys just click the YouTube live chat, and you'll be able to ask questions and type. Yeah, so I was looking at GU before we started. Last week we discussed shorts. Someone asked, and they went about 40 pips into profit, but now we're back at entry, so we could actually get in on it. We're showing some rejection. So yeah, GU is looking like a nice short. GJ is looking like a nice short as well. Pound Aussie plummeted. Pound NSD plummeted. Okay, Aussie yen. I believe that's what you're trying to say. Okay, Aussie yen. Some intro music. Yeah, we can do that. It's just copyrights and stuff, but we'll probably find a proper intro. Let me go ahead and share the YouTube live link. Even though everyone should be on the portal, some people are just joining in, so we'll teach them one more time how to get in. Yeah, this week has a lot of swing trade opportunities presenting itself, so maybe a slower week than usual. We have a lot of Euro fundamentals tomorrow and Wednesdays, but we'll get into that. Okay, let me just send the link and we can get started. I'd rather have you guys hear this than complete silence, so. If you guys had a good weekend, the weekend's a great time to kind of take a step back and spend some time on the charts. We didn't see too many gaps, so that's good. Can enter later today into some good trades. Okay, I'm gonna start. If you have any recommendations, send them in now, or we're about to get started. So we have Pound USD, Aussie Yen, Gold. I'll look at CAD CHF, and EURNZD because there's some entries there. Alright, cool. So going off our first recommendation, GU. We took a look at GU last week, and I believe I did show a swing short. Let's see where it's at. Yeah, so this was a long-term swing short starting on the weekly. I believe this is where we plotted it. Yeah, so for those that have been around for quite some time, since the beginning of these live sessions, this descending trend line is one that we broke last week. And zooming in, you can see a nice break below this trend line. Popping to the daily, that's when I said that we could go short. So we went, whoever asked for it could have went short somewhere here in this candle. I apologize for the lag. Let me show you one hourly. Yeah. So remember last week I bet my house that we'd come up here, and we did. So we actually came up here, stalled a bit, and then the pound was able to go a bit higher into our stop loss. Obviously our entry was somewhere here, and now it went about 30 pips into profit. And right now we're at entry. We're testing this trend line again, the one that we broke. So ideally what we want is a rejection off that trend line. Let me move this. For whoever went into this, you did make some profit. It just took some time to get there. But yeah, the 4 hourly paints a nice picture. So we had a bounce off this key level. We had a push above this recent support area, and price came back down. Right now we're retesting this weekly trend line we broke. If we get a nice, if we can squeeze all the way down here, so this candle can close somewhere down here, that'd be great. So a nice squeeze somewhere down here, so we have a nice evening star. We can have a nice short, and the risk reward will be much better than going from here, because we had such an aggressive move. We didn't get that retest of the weekly trend line. So right now we have the opportunity. Just watch out for something like this. I'll probably call it. So for those that can't be on the charts for the entire day, I'll probably call it. But we can definitely see something like this happen. Rejection and a nice short down. The risk reward 3.18, phenomenal. We had pound Aussie melt earlier, so we could see some further weakness for the pound overall. If we want to even get into shorter term technicals, you can draw this. So we have a nice descending trend line. Our stop is right above it perfectly, so if we do wick up, we won't get stopped out. So we're on the 1 hourly. Let's see how this 1 hourly closes. That's going to be in about an hour or so. Ideally we want it to at least close a little bit larger than this candle. Zooming in, we could see that this previous candle was a hammer. Very little wick to the top, large wick to the bottom. So if we could, maybe engulf this previous candle with a nice bearish candle, it'd be a nice place to enter. I'd watch out entering right after this candle, just because it's just such a small bearish candle. If anything, we could wait for the touch of this trend line to see what kind of reaction we get. But overall, the bias is short, and it's been that way for God knows how long. I think since Q2. So we like to trade with the trend, and with that being said, we are eyeing GU shorts. I'm just extending this zone out from the left. It's just finding the right entry. So that's pound USD, Aussie yen. I believe last week someone asked for Aussie yen, and I said it's a nice short. Let's see what it's doing now. Okay, cool. Okay, so yeah, last week nice. So last week I plotted this short, and I didn't even count this in the pip count. This was another setup that was given. Someone asked about Aussie shorts, and I told them enter somewhere here with a break. What happened was price actually rebounded pretty hard and went pretty close to the stop loss, but not quite there, and it went into our nice resistance zone before spilling over for about 40 or so pips. So that's pretty good, and then it came back in our zone and it spilled over, it came back again, and it's spilling over again. So we might have a chance to short Aussie yen. Probably the best place is if it comes down somewhere here, because this is our first, second, third, fourth time testing this resistance. On the other hand, on the flip side, we could have a long. If this candle decides to flip back up, we could have a nice long. Like many of the other pairs against the yen, they have some recovery they need to do. Damn, it's lagging. Let me know if it's lagging on your end. It's definitely lagging on my end. But yeah, popping in the daily, you can see this support region has been in duty since May. Just capping it down. The yen's been showing all kinds of strength in this area. If you can get a close above this zone, which we haven't done since May, it may indicate a trend reversal. We're already creating an uptrend with higher highs and higher lows. So on the flip side, look for a long opportunities above this zone. Here I'll put the cursor so you can copy that, plot down that level, but a break and close above that level would have a nice long opportunity to somewhere right here. So I'll be on the watch out for that. If anything, we could have a short, but I believe the entry has passed, as we've spilled around 40 pips from this zone already. If you're looking for an intraday short, could have you can plot this trend line down. Take that. Okay, so price is coming. It's probably gonna come and test this trend line. If you're looking for an intraday short or like a scalp, maybe look for a break, retest, and you can short somewhere to here. Have your stops. This is not a trade setup I'm telling you guys to go into. This is a recommendation. I don't really scalp too much, but look for something like this. The risk is pretty small. The risk to reward is still there. But the entry for shorts has passed. That's why it's key to have these levels down, because I was asleep at this moment in time. You could have caught that short after we printed this teardrop candle. So that's Aussie yen. Any other pairs, let me know. Gold. And then I wanted to talk about EURNZD because there's an entry for us. I might be able to call it now. So yeah, gold is just consolidating right now, as you can see on the 1 hourly. Going back to last week, we were in this bullish flag, I guess, pennant, whatever you want to call it. We did have that break and the attempt to go higher, but price pulled back down. Gold's an interesting spot because if you go to the weekly, you go all the way to the left. Let me squeeze this down all the way to the left. So this point right here, this was in 2013, which was the last time where we were at this price zone, and we wicked pretty hard there. And it's looking like we can't spill back down to this area. That's why I call it shorts. But if you look even further to the left, back in 2011, it was at this region where we had a mini retrace, and then we popped off to make all-time highs for gold. We're talking about 1800s, 1900s almost. So, you know, that area where we're at right now, there's definitely some buyers trying to push above. But that 2013, the August 2013 resistance is still in play. I don't see any movement happening anytime soon. We're just consolidating. Either way, a break above. Let me give you guys specifics. It's a Monday, so right now we're just trying to get the overall bias of certain pairs. You know, a break above 14.29. We could go and make another attempt at one of these regions. So yeah, a break and close above this. We can make another push to this region right here. 1440 area. 1440 area is pretty good. That's what we can see right now. Just a lot of wicks, a lot of consolidation. It's still an uptrend, so be wary of that. We could pop off. Let me check the fundamentals, see if there's anything. So we are in an uptrend, obviously. Fundamentals, today's quiet, so we might have some minor pairs to enter. Tuesday, it's okay. And then Wednesday we have a lot of Euro, German and French flash sales. And then later we have Aussie. Going to the next day, a lot of Euro. So Wednesday and Thursday, major Euro fundamentals. And Friday, advanced GDP. Okay. So this week's pretty quiet, at least until Wednesday. So I'll look for some setups for you guys. But until then, let me know about any other pairs you want me to look at. If not, I'm going to go over some setups that I see. So while I go over Euro NSD, you guys could shoot your last few pairs before we end off this live session. Mondays are pretty slow, but we'll have some more you know, within live setups to just enter right away. But Euro NSD, you know, we've shorted it from here, hit or take profit. Now it looks like, you know, we're doing the same thing, just lower highs, lower lows, perfect trend line. We did have a nice touch off this point right here. You know, if you're risk aversive, if you're not risk aversive, you probably would have shorted from there. Could go from here to here at least. Going to the 4 hourly, I see a more bigger picture play out. So the next major target we can go to is somewhere right here. Get this level down, but ideally, you know, let this candle get squeezed out before we close below 1.65400, and we could have a nice short down here. The risk to reward would be phenomenal. It's always about getting the best entries. You know, some people get the long and the short right, but their entries all jacked up, so they end up, you know, getting bit in the trade or just not making enough. But perfect, our stop loss will be outside this descending trend line right here and above this key level. So if we do, you know, come here and snap back out, our bias will be invalidated. But that's what I'm looking at for EURNZD. something that I could call right now. But you know, we took a pretty decent loss in gold, negative 35 pips. So you know, I want to go for quality. But look for something like this to play out. So make sure you have these levels. Definitely a trade that's going with the trend. So you know, the probability is on our side for this trade setup. Okay. USD yen. Let's see what USD yen is saying. So USD yen is back in our support zone again. You know, it looked at this when we had this close below this support zone. It looked like we were gonna spill over and create new lows, but that's why you wait for the retest. We did bounce back up, and we didn't get that rejection. What we're doing is kind of making a push out of this region. So USD yen, you know, I've been saying this for some time now. I don't really like what this pair is doing right now. It's just in a lot of drama. You know, the yen acting as a safe haven, and the USD in a lot of global tensions right now. So you know, it's gonna do a lot of fake outs like it has done here and it's done here. So I'm obviously not looking to trade for it. Yeah, I mean, it is in a downtrend, still creating lower highs and lower lows. So overall bias, even though you know it could be anything, it is still a short, but not something I'll call for. But be on the lookout for URNSD.